To the Beaver Dam, and we've been doing some initial testing for the raid and want to get a video out to you guys. This isn't going to be going overall mostly the like the strategies or anything like that. It seems like the biggest key is just fast speed, because you need to get out there and kill off the two side clones Fox and Apo as fast as possible. Otherwise, trying to get in and hit Vader is very hard, but once you get over a speed hump and put some like good mods onto characters, you're gonna do some great stuff in this raid. That being said, it does seem a little locked out for free to play for sure, and so we've got some strategies for you guys to get some score into your guild. And just as a friendly neighborhood reminder, you don't need a ton to be able to pull off a lot of stuff for yourself and your guild. Right here, you know, average of 200,000 gets you the first crate. Average of 290,000 is going to get you the second crate. Like, as long as you guys are using some of these, you guys are going to do pretty good in the raid. It's just going to be a little bit of a struggle. So we're going to start with some easy to get ones, but some of them might not give you the best score. And then we're going to get into the ones that basically just guarantee you full scores if you have them modded well. And of course, there'll be more testing to come, more strategies to come as time goes on. But just remember, speed is key essentially in this raid. Luckily though, you can get a decent score without speed. It's not like you're completely locked out without decent speed. So first things first, Relic 5 Enfys Nest. Someone was able to do a Relic 5 Enfys Nest with her Zeta and get about 245,000 on tier 0. So this is a good option for those who got that light speed bundle and got the Enfys Nest like I did. If you're or if you went for Enfys Nest early for a solo at some point, that's kind of an older strat, so it's not as common. But this will essentially give your whole guild exactly what you need to get the first crate if you guys are worried about it. So super nice there. Next up on the list is the one that I did the most testing with, and this is the new Bad Batch. We tried them at gear 8 at 5 stars. You know, we got Batcher at 6-star, but whatever. And at tier 0, they're getting max score with good mods. With crap mods, like I literally brought them up to gear 8, then auto assigned mods, I was still getting about 210k score average. And so like really solid team overall. They're all farmable for people. This is going to be my suggestion for most people coming in if you don't already have investments in some of these other things already. Definitely something to look at as a guild to push for, especially because they continue to get full score as you relic them up to whatever tier that you get to, which is super, super nice. And then of course the Tarkin team, we have some nice stuff to show for the Tarkin team, which I do appreciate. We got a guy who did Tarkin and Apo, and that was it, with a 5-star Apo, and was able to get a 300k score, which is super, super nice to see. The Tarkin clones in general seem to be a full score team as long as you mod them well. Tarkin hits like a truck. It's hilarious to watch. And so I'm very happy with this team, and I think that a lot of people have a PP for this. There's nothing wrong with a little PP. Passion projects are important. A lot of people want to go for these clones. So I do think the clones will be something good, but this is one of those farms that's going to take you a while because they're not all farmable. Scorch is now farmable. Apo's now farmable, or not Scorch. Scorch is in shipments. Apo's now farmable, and CX2 is now farmable. My bad. And so you're still waiting like another month before you're going to be able to farm the rest of the characters and start that farm. So if your guild's not pressuring you, but you want to get something good up for the raid, I do think this is an excellent option. I don't think it's super free to play friendly, but there's a lot of people that have a passion project for this. They really want the clones, and so I don't think this is going to be a bad thing whatsoever. And it looks like you're going to be able to accomplish some good low gear stuff as time goes on. Next up, we have the Jedi Vanguard. Now, the Jedi Vanguard, this is base level Jedi Vanguard. I put these in the easy to get and not the most stable for the reason of specifically you can use this team and you can win, but it does require Keller and Beck, and it does require Barisafi, and it does require like really good mods to be able to pull this kind of thing off. I believe instead of Shock T, the one that we have is Kit Fisto that we've been seeing, but this doesn't work very well unless you have really good mods. It'll work in lower tiers. You'll be able to do gear, you know, the tier 0 with whatever gear. You're going to be able to do gear 12. Anything past the gear 12 tier, and it starts to get killed really easily, and also the damage just isn't there. And so this team really struggles without god mods. But you still, if you have leftovers from the previous raid, I highly suggest getting this guy right here, Kelleran Beck, and getting the Barisafi. You're going to be able to do some good stuff at least. Now, that being said, we're going to go into the full points teams, and these are all expensive teams, obviously. Jedi Vanguard, there is one change we can make to make this a full score team like every time without having insane mods. And so we'll talk about that in just a moment. I think a lot of these full point teams are fairly obvious, and, you know, we'll talk about it. And I'm guessing pirates are going to be in there. So we got our Jedi Master Mace Windu with Jocasta Nu and Aayla Secura. This obviously does not take away from our Kelleran Beck team, which is nice. So if you can get those god mods on Kelleran Beck, you can get a couple good max scores if you have Jedi Master Mace Windu as well as the dark side clones from that farm. So like overall, if you kind of went that direction and you're willing to remod, you can get 3 max scores for whatever relic levels you have them at, which is super, super nice. And Jocasta Nu is kind of a big key in this raid. If you throw Jocasta Nu with Kelleran Beck, this is like an auto max score, which is super, super nice. I didn't go for Jocasta Nu because, as most of you know, she is my least favorite character in all of Star Wars, and screw Jocasta Nu. And I hate the fact that I am being extorted into Relic Knighting Jocasta Nu, but here we are. So Jocasta Nu seems to be the key, and the reason I don't put this Jedi Vanguard team in the low stuff is because we're talking about low stuff for you guys who don't have access to red crates in Conquest. You know, for those of you who have access to red crates in Conquest, if you have a Jocasta Nu, now's your time to level them up, because you throw them with Jedi Vanguard, max level, max score. You throw them with Mace, max score. Looking real nice to have the Jocasta Nu in place without having to do some heavy modding or anything like that. And of course, our other two teams are simply the Omega team and the Grand Moff Tarkin team. Even at Relic 7, you know, going forward, going up in relic levels, they seem to do great and continue to get max score the higher the relic level you go. These 4 teams essentially are just they'll do the trick whatsoever. It's just always going to work. But as for this stuff right here, if you have an Enfys Nest up to Relic 5, or you think that an Enfys Nest at Relic 5 is a good thing that you can get your whole guild to do, I think it might be a good thing to do. It's an old character, double drop farmable, comes around in the Bounty Hunter event. A lot of people already have shards for her. A lot of people bought Lightspeed bundles, so this could be a good run for a lot of you guys, is this Enfys Nest run. Additionally, Omega with the Bad Batch, I think, is one of my favorites, just because if you just have some good mods on them, they can do either 210 or a full 300. And if you have really good mods, I just auto assigned through hot utils and just took the whatever mods, and yeah, I mean, they're obviously good mods because it's hot utils using my best mods that aren't 6 dot. But it was literally a breeze to get 300k score. It was the easiest thing in the world. So I don't think this is going to be a hard one for a lot of people. If you have the passion for it and your guild's not super harping on you, it looks like clones are going to be a great thing for a lot of you guys to go for. A lot of you guys have a passion project, so I think it's going to be great. And then of course the Jedi Vanguard. As we get a good strat going for these guys, I will make another video about it. But for now, I've seen one person successfully do it, and they had really good mods. And they were using Kelleran Beck, Kit Fisto. Here, we can actually pull it up. Let's pull it up real quick just to show you guys. Here we go. Yeah, Kelleran Beck, Shock T, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, and Qui-Gon. So this one's not even any Barris, which is nice. So there you go. And then of course we can look at the mods, but yeah, it's like, you know, you look at that Kit Fisto and none of the mods have less than 23 speed on them. So whether or not this is going to be super viable for people, we shall see going forward, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be awful, and I'll do some testing myself. I'm just a little dumb myself and accidentally hit submit on my Jedi Vanguard at one point, and we were doing tier 5 testing, and literally we got, and this is with my regular mods I had on the characters, we got 15,000. That was it. That's why the initial testing for Jedi Vanguard, I'm like, this doesn't look good. And it looks like some people are able to pull some stuff off, and I'm happy about that. I'm excited to see that, but I'm going to need some time to do some initial testing and get it down for sure. You can, of course, check out the Swago raid server. There's people testing in there, much more than just me. So hopefully this helps you guys get an idea on what you want to do for your guild, what you want to do for the raid, and get some teams down to go into your guys' rosters. Obviously the pirates are going to do something as we go forward. I don't care. I'm not really going for the pirates myself. I don't know who is, but for those who are, good luck to you. Let me know how it goes in the comments section below on how the pirates are going. But I don't even have like Hondo or Sana because I never went for Afra. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helps. Just to kind of reiterate here at the end, Enfys Nest was between 200 and 300,000. Looks like about 245 from the testing that someone did. Omega Bad Batch, we're looking at somewhere in the area of 210 to 300 depending on mods, and I would probably say that's going to be the same thing for Tarkin. Keller and Beck, I think if you have them relicked, you're going to be completely fine, but you're going to have to god mod to really get them going and get them good and solid for your scores. But they look like they might be able to reach max overall. Let me know below what you get. I'm not really going to assign a number for these because it's just, I mean, I was looking at it with just regular mods, and we were looking at 15,000 on tier 4, and that's not looking good. So let me know in the comment section below. And then of course all these teams, you're basically full points for whatever tier you can complete. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for giving a damn.